Happy Wednesday. Not so happy Wednesday. And here we are. We're going to close the kitchen together. Hi, Carrie. Claire, love you. Hi, Molly. Sherry. Teresa's here. Hey, gang. So, Jess. Hi, Alicia. Alicia, can I share what you wrote to me in the Facebook post? It was such a beautiful thing. Let me know. It was a really beautiful thing Alicia wrote that I want to share with you guys. And what we were talking about last night, how important it is that we are making this decision about who we want to be right now, right? And I was in a lot of sessions today. I want to talk about sort of three things. Thank you, Alicia. I want to talk about three things. So the first thing I want to talk about is that, gosh, when life feels so out of control and you have been struggling with food and weight issues, it's so easy to turn back into that noise. It's almost like that noise of food and weight, and did I have enough, and can I have more, and how much do I weigh, and is that good, and is that bad? Going into the noise of your food and weight issues just seems like such a comfortable space. But I need to tell you something about that right now. And that is, it is a thief and it is a terrorist. And we have enough problems right now. We don't need those. And I really want you to be conscious about how and where you're placing your energy right now. Because if you're in any space, and you're in any space where you're experiencing the sadness, the grief, the anger, the overwhelm that, I spent the whole day talking about with my clients, part of what you can do to step up and be in the solution is to start to observe your own availability and your own awakeness and your own availability to be open-minded, open-hearted, and of service. But when we're going back into these old thought patterns and frankly old behavior patterns of turning back to sugar, of obsessing about our bodies, of obsessing about our weight, on and on and on, you're not that useful. And so many people are feeling out of control, powerless. It's like, let's focus on the things that we can change, like that beautiful, beautiful serenity prayer says, right? Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And the courage to change the things we can in a very micro way is to be getting clear on your relationship with food and how you can get it into a place where it doesn't steal from you and where it doesn't make you feel bad about yourself and where it doesn't make you feel hopeless and demoralized and useless. Because when you're feeling that way, that extends into the larger community. That extends, because if you're at home and didn't learn this in grad school, my friends, because if you're at home and you've had a rough night, you wake up in the morning, you're groggy and you're like shameful, and like, by the way, like for many of us, like that's the oldest tune in the book. That is the oldest tune in the book. Waking up, the demoralization, the shame, the oldest story, oldest song we ever heard in our life. Am I right? But the problem with it in current time, in January, this was a deal, right? In January, this was a deal. But right now, when like the need for people to be awake and aware and alive, and for our solution set to need to be like this big, and I'm telling you, I'm right if you're hanging out with me. Like when you're in an abusive relationship with sugar, when you're busy binging, when you're busy like obsessing about the food and like, is this right? Is this portion right? Oh, I don't want to give up my Splenda. All of that noise, when is not in alignment with your personal integrity, You can't be awake and alive in the way that you, well, I don't know if you need to be, but I need you to be, because I'm a citizen of the world and I need you, and we all need each other. I really want you to start to think about your food and weight issues in this way, my loves. Now, you may not be there yet. I get it. You may not be there. You may be like, this girl doesn't know how hard it is for me. I do. If you read my book, if you read the first 10 pages of my book, I promise you know I do. If you're feeling that way, can you just, on borrowed positive vibe and on borrowed hope, believe you can do it one more time and just keep on trying, because the world needs that right now too. Like, the world needs like the hope of believing that you can get it, and the hope of not giving up on yourself, and not giving up on this process, and not giving up on this relationship with food. Remember, the relationship with food is the relationship with yourself. They're the same thing. They are. And living in this personal integrity is going to be such a gift to you and others. So interesting, today I had 2 coaching clients, and both of them were so struggling with their foods the week before, in the bites, licks, and tastes of it, like in these really kind of minute ways. So they were doing that thing. They were sort of creating this noise so they didn't have to think about world. They didn't have to think about life. They could just be self-obsessed and food obsessed, and like, you know what I mean? And then they cleaned it up. And this week they were like different people. And there is this switch that happens. I mean, addiction is such a tricky disease, and you don't have to believe your addiction. Eating disorders, diet, trauma, it's all the same thing. It all tells a story, and the story it tells you is, no, like that night chocolate, you need it, right? Or it says, no, you need much more of that on your plate. You're not going to survive without it, right? Or, I know it's not time to eat, but you need to have a little bit of a snack. And it feels like the solution, but really it's the problem. And when you break free and you get back into what you consider your personal integrity and level up and be brave, because I'm telling you, the switch that happens is so crazy. It's like so beautiful. And you realize you've been in an abusive relationship. You've been believing the hype that you can't live without this thing, when quite the opposite. You live about 1 billion times better without it. And I say this to you like someone who said it to you in January, where it was sort of important. But like, again, like, the world needs you. And the world needs you whole. And the world needs you out of your abusive relationship with food to the extent that you're able. And if you're not able, the world needs you putting up a fight for yourself. That's like what we need right now. We need non-complacency. We need passion. We need power. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we need right now. So this is how I think this is our only shot at framing this right now, you know. And Alicia, who's a very dear friend of mine, who's part of our BUWS community, you know, she wrote me this note last night, and she said, you know, it didn't feel important. She teaches dance to young girls. I mean, what a job. And she teaches this beautiful, I guess, like spiritual fitness called Intensati, which you should read about. My friend Patricia runs it. It's incredible. I mean, incredible. I'm going to put the link to the Saturday Intensati and the Breaking Up with Sugar group. And if you're not in the Breaking Up with Sugar group, then you got to get on it. And so she said to me, she wrote me a note, and she said, you know, I didn't feel like it was important what I was doing, you know, because of the world, because of what's going on in the world. And, you know, this is where we have to start to think differently. And I said, Alicia, you are teaching young girls about empowerment and creativity. Like, what is more important than that, right? Remember what I said yesterday. I can't stop saying this enough. If I get your ear, I can't stop saying this enough. And that is, if you don't think that you're an important part of this world, that is the most selfish thing that you can say. On a spiritual level, I mean, the divine put you in this world to do something amazing, right? And if you're so stuck in your self-hate and your failure and all of these words that need to go in your word graveyard yesterday, you cannot wake up and you cannot be of service and you cannot be awake and alive. And that is what this world needs right now. It needs us to get out of some of this self-centeredness, that the food and weight stuff makes us so incredibly small and self-centered, right? It's like it can make our lives feel the size of a postage stamp. And that there are many reasons, there are many benefits to breaking free of this abusive relationship with sugar. But in this moment right now, breaking free and being able to have vision and being able to have passion and being able to change young minds, thank you, Alicia, right? That is what matters. And if you're holding on, if you're kind of willfully holding on to some of these foods, like the artificial sweeteners, like the fake this, like the pretzels, just consider it. And I want you to just consider this one thing, which is, what if that is the thing that is not allowing for you to live to your full potential? Like, what if that's the thing? Like, what if it worked? What if what we're talking about worked? And then what if you could really level up and be this person who you're really supposed to be? All of us. I know it for myself. I know it from all the people I know. It's like, you level up. It takes bravery and it takes courage. And listen, I'm not trying to make it, I swear, I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying that it's going to be a one and done. I mean, there's no part of me, if you follow anything I've ever said in my life, like, there's actually no part of your relationship with food that's going to be one and done. So, spoiler alert. But it's like, what can you, like, so if you're really struggling, if you're like, Molly, like, I can't get into personal integrity, my question will just be, what can you do? What can you do that is better than you're doing for yourself right now? Move forward. Make the trajectory forward moving. That kind of energy is what we need in the world right now. We need it now. We need it now. We need it now. Please. We're just going to have this conversation over and over until there's something better to talk about. I don't think there's anything better to talk about than this right now. What if it actually works, Bernadette? I have nothing more to say than that. And what if it works and you are able to have vision and power and influence in a way that helps to change the world? What else is there in this world? What else is there? What's more important than this? The food is not allowing you to live to your full potential if you're in an abusive relationship with it. There is no question about that. I'm not saying you're not being useful right now. I'm saying you're not at your full potential. And that is true. So anyway, my loves. Just a light thought for the evening. Listen, I'm a lioness by trade. It's my spirit animal. And sometimes I gotta get all mama lion with you. It's how I'm made. And I need us to be thinking big and brave right now, because that is what the world needs from us, okay? So that is my request to you tonight. And I'm going to have the night off tomorrow. And we're going to close the kitchen now, okay? And I'm so grateful for all of you. So let's put our hands on our hearts for ourselves, for all those suffering with food and weight issues around the world, and just for all the enormous suffering that's going on right now. Big and brave. And I will put the Intensati. Alicia, can you put the Intensati link in the Breaking Up with Sugar Facebook group tomorrow? I feel like all the Breaking Up with Sugar warriors should be doing Intensati. Rawr! Yeah, I'm a mama lion. So, Susie's Close the Kitchen. Amazing. Yes, Amy Bernstein. Love you. Thank you. Close the Kitchen. Incredible. Good. Sharon's Close the Kitchen. Anna's Close the Kitchen. Sharon's Close the Kitchen. Alicia, amazing. Emily's Close the Kitchen. Good, Emily. Hope you're feeling better. Sarah's Close the Kitchen. Molly, Jess, Andy, Rachel, Crystal, amazing. Candy, Rachel, Bernadette, Laura. Good. Bonnie's closing at Pacific time 8:30. Amazing. Abby, amazing. Teresa, Cheryl, Diane, amazing. Trudy, Sherry, Janice. Charlene, I love you, friend. Love you, friend. Carol, fabulous. So, my loves, good. Heather's going to close the kitchen before 9. So, my loves, tomorrow is my night off. It's pouring rain. It's like pouring rain while I'm talking to you. Powerful. We're more powerful than we know. This I promise you. And breaking up with sugar and getting into this relationship with food is the greatest gift you're going to be giving to yourself. This I promise you, and to the world. And listen, I love you guys so much. Know that. And if nobody's told you that they love you today, know that I do. Okay? I'll see you Friday. Friday!